Ugh, fuck, I'm feeling like shit. Hey, here we are. So, I'm just doing a second stream because I was feeling like shit, and I was like, you know what? What would make me feel better? Working on my D&D world, which I have postponed for the past, would that be around a week or so? I told myself that I was gonna be streaming almost daily doing this, but I got sick, and then shit happens in life, so here we are. So, just a small recap for basically myself, since I don't remember what was the last thing that I actually did here. So let me check on that. So races. Okay, so I added the humans. Okay. I added the information for bear humans, the tieflings. The SMR, which I had pending since at the time I didn't have any way to get the information for the SMRs. And I was looking at D&D Beyond, and I just couldn't get a hold of the information. So I actually did find a way to get that information now. So there's that. That's Animal Folk. This is a huge pending, since I didn't have enough information on all the animal folk that there are in the D&D world on the Forgotten Realms as a whole. Actually, just changed a little something. So the cat people. I actually now know their names. They are the Tabaxi. I have no idea why I forgot that, but now I do have it. The lizardman, that's something. For lizardman, I had these categories for the lizard and salamander off screen, since just to add a little bit of variety when it comes to that. The Aracroga, the Mentors, the Centaurs, this information that I have to add later as well. For the aquatic beings is a huge trending as well, since I am not that knowledgeable when it comes to the information of the aquatic beings on the NDU, since there's a shit ton of things. But I do know mermaids, mermen, and the tritons. That's just basic information, and I'm going to have to search for those as well. For the halflings, I had to search the information on them. The types, the Lightfoot and the Stout. For the dwarves, I think this is where I ended up finishing the last stream. It was a shit of information about dwarves. Okay, and here's what we have pending. The elves, the dragonborn, which is a huge pending, since I wanted to give dragonborns a little bit more of a special something in my world, since I want to do a lot of more of it, since literally the game's called Dungeons and Dragons, so I wanted to give them a little bit of flair, make them a little bit more special, which is going to take a little while, since I still don't have the creation story for my world, neither the continents nor the huge amounts of things that you need for that. The gnomes, actually, out of all the things that I researched, that I was supposed to research, I didn't search for the information on the gnomes. Since to this day, I still don't know exactly what makes them different from the halflings, but that's just a me thing. That's not me just being, hey, small people, things like that. And for the orcs, I do have orcs, and I do have the subtype of the Oni for the orcs. Also, the Gnasi, I need the information of the Gnasi, and I was also looking at maybe there being light or dark Gnasi, quote unquote. I don't think I'm gonna have these two as playable races, but I do maybe want to have them in the world just for the flair of it. The Changeling, that is a race that I absolutely fucking adore, and I want to make them a little bit special in my world. So let's put this on a huge. Let me put this on pending, since this is something that I really want to make important in my world. Just something that I don't have the information on. So the changelings, pending, the fairies. I want to add that play game. I don't want to have people being fairies from the very start of the game. Also vampires. Vampires are fucking cool. Just want to add in the world. Werewolves as well. So you want to have the counterpart for the vampires. So vampires and werewolves, that kind of thing. So demons. And this is something that I just learned recently. And that is me for not being experienced enough when it comes to D&D. Demons and devils are a huge, well, there's a huge fucking difference. Now, let me add that devils. So apparently, let me add Legdom as well. Sure, I'm just gonna add that because I don't have anything that I want to do for those yet. So demons and devils apparently have been fighting a huge fucking war in the Avernus for the longest ass time. Why? I do not know yet, but maybe just because they want to govern Avernus. Fuck, that's so hard to say. Govern Avernus. And they are always fighting over there. You got Tiamat as well, fucking getting the gates of Avernus and shit like that. I watched a ton of. So I was doing research, and by quote unquote research, that means I'm watching YouTube videos. A shit ton of D&D YouTube videos in the past couple of days. Just get a little bit more information when it comes to the world and this, yada yada, and a lot of that stuff. So here's the thing. I'm gonna add demons, devils. Okay, so now let's go over here to the top, right here. So before we start doing any of this, and this is something that I actually added since the last time I was doing this. So now we have scenes. So hey, now you can see what I'm looking at whenever I search for the other information. So let me put this down, and now, hey, here we are. I can look at this. Oh, can you not see my cursor? Oh, that's fuck, whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay, so we have the Dragonborn, we have Dwarf, the Elves, the Gnomes, the Half-Elves, Halflings, Half-Orcs. Very fucking high. And now I can have people actually see whatever the fuck I'm looking at. So the Owlin. This is a... So, should I add these to my world? Fuck it, sure. So just one thing. Most of the things that I'm adding here are not things that are going to be like directly... How should I say this? Available for everybody. I am adding here the races that I want to see in my world. Let's go over here and let's put bird people. Yeah, I'm doing that. Bird people. First we're gonna have the Aarakocra. Then we're gonna have the Owlin. And after we go look for more of these kinds of species, we'll see what we can add. Okay. Oh, that's the thing. I don't have the scenes for you to be able to look at that. Sorry, I was just myself. I added here bird people and the Aarakocra, which I still don't know this is the correct way to do it. Well, spell the thing. And the Owlin. So now we go back to the other tab. This is gonna be... I should fucking buy I forgot the name of it. It was a Steam Deck. Stream Deck. I should buy a Stream Deck for that. Now here they have the ASMR and would you look at that? It's kind of late. Okay, so hey, would you look at that? I cannot see this because I do not have it bought, which means that I cannot look at information on there and that and that. But there is a way to go around this, and we'll do that eventually. So, okay, we have the Deep Gnome as well. Yep. Oh, things I want to... Did I add the Centaurs, actually? Let me just check that real quick. Did I even add the Centaurs? I do not remember that. Oh, yeah, I did. Good. I'm just not looking at it, but I was just checking back in the Word document. Just for that. So, the Deep Gnome, the Bugbear, I don't have much information when it comes to these races. Oh, I can see my creature. Good. When it comes to this race, but I'm not something I'm interested in right now, so I'm gonna go with that. I have basically all of this covered. Let's go down. The Allergen, it's just elves from the Feywild, so I'm not really interested. The Fairy, I have it. The Furbolg, just in case of giants, the first Furbolgs, 1 to 2 pounds. Nah, too much. Not interested. But can I see what already added? The Githyanki, I think. Not really interested. The gets the right. Sure. No. Goblins. Actually, I might want to add goblins. Goblins is not a bad idea. I have to look exactly what I'm gonna do with the monster races that actually do have a class within them, but let me add those as well. I'm not gonna show that to you, any of y'all, because it's just I'm setting names to the Word document. So goblin. That is gonna be look, but that was pending. It should have been pending. Okay, so the Goliaths, I'll think of on those. I have to think on them, basically, just for the giants. Well, the thing is that I have to add also races that I'm not gonna have playable, but basically I'm just adding the playable races first, and that if I ever have. The Heron gone. Are blessed with a little few fate luck, and upon I'll add these to the animal people list as well, since they are funny people. It was Haragon. Let me see where it's at right now. I should probably put this at the bottom. Let me make a space on this. Let me see. After Tabaxi, I'm gonna add Haragon for the animal people. There we go. Okay, so these are the ones that I forgot about. The Kenku. From what I can remember, can I see this? That's the important thing. No, I cannot, so I'll look for it later. From what I remember the Kenku, I thought they couldn't speak or something like that. So yeah, sure, I'll add the Kenku. And also the kobolds. Hobgoblins. Should I add hobgoblins? No, probably not, but I will add the Kenku and the kobolds since I do think both of those are important. So it was the Kenku, that's another one for the animal people, I mean for the bird people, that's the Kenku. And I'll look at their history and all of those things in a little bit. And the kobolds are more of are more akin to the dragon folk, so I'll just add them next to the dragon folk on the very bottom of the list. Well, dragonborn I mean. And that's the kobolds. There we go. Now, the lizard folk, the minotaurs already have them. The orcs already have them. The satyr, I'll think about it. I'll think about the satyrs. Feywild, sure. I'll think about those. The sea elves, I'm not really interested in having sea elves in my world as of right now. The Shadar Kai, that's the specific race from the D&D world, which the thing here is that, how should I say this? I do plan to take a lot of things from base D&D, but I want to make this a homebrew world made by myself, which is why I'm making most of the divinity of the world, most of the gods, everything like that. Basically, I'm creating a whole fucking continent, cosmos, quote-unquote, universe. Am I capable of doing that? I'm not really sure myself. I'm gonna try either way. So there's specific races like these that maybe have to do with the exact information of a specific region within the Forgotten Realms. I'm probably not gonna keep them. Shifter, I'm not really interested in this for the fact that I already have well, they're more akin to animals, but I'm not really interested as a whole on it. So not really interested. So I already have the changelings, which basically could change everything about them. So why should I add this? Guys, the Tabaxi already had them, the Turtle did, the Trident, the Garganassi, and the Yonte. A base with resistance to magical poison effects, but not really sure about this race. I don't really know about them, but I'll look into them. Okay, well, those got monsters. Yes, I already have them. But the bugbear, I'm thinking about it, but probably not. The Furbolg, I don't have any information on giants, so I cannot add them just yet. But maybe later. The goblins, here we go. The hobgoblins, probably not. Probably not. Kenku, got it. Not interested. And this is more information on other casts and other things. Yep. Oh, now the thing is here, the Warforged are a specific thing that I had in mind in my world, but the thing is that I do not know exactly if I am going to allow. Well, I want the thing. I don't know. It's kind of difficult. This is the kind of thing that crosses the line between what would be just D&D, like magical things and such, and then you get more into the quote-unquote not sci-fi as a whole, but this is the first step to bringing sci-fi, I think, into the D&D world. Do I want Warforges? Yes, I actually do. The thing is that I do not know exactly how I am going to have them in my world, but sure, I'll add it to the list because I'm interested in having Warforges. It's just that I have to think exactly how am I gonna make them fit into my world. The Warforge. Wait. Oh fuck, I was sorry. The Warforge. There we go. The Warforge. Okay, they have been added. Now, Astral Elves. Oh, the Space Jam. This is Adventures in Space, so I'm probably not gonna add any of this. The geese, I don't know what that is. St. George doesn't have it. The Loxodon. So basically, elephant people. To the. Let's go to the animal races. Loxodon. Sorry. Sorry. Hiccups. Oh, yep, there. Fuck, that was weird. Now they're over. Okay, let me add the Loxodon here. Loxodon. There we go. And now the burden, the look. Fuck, words are hard. Locathot, interesting. Kendra, not interested. The Grunk, not interested. The Aarakocra, the Ganassi, and the Goliath. Okay. So I'm pretty much done for now. So here's the thing. Within all of my research, from what I could find, I actually find a D&D YouTube channel that I quite frankly adored. He had a really good sense of humor, he had a lot of fun ideas to bring to the table, and he literally made things free. And this is not a quote-unquote free, it was literally free. He gave out stat sheets for monsters, for characters, for a lot of pretty cool things actually. And I do plan on implementing some of those things to my world, but I do not know exactly how well that works out since it's pretty much copyrighted content, quote unquote. But I do want to maybe spice it up a little bit, maybe change it a little bit so that I just don't fuck it up and get myself fucked over with copyright claims. Or maybe I might just like the guy, hey, can I use this in my D&D world? And that is Pointy Hat. I think his first video was, it was about 9 months ago, so it's a pretty recent YouTube channel. But he edited really well his videos, he was really eloquent about the way he spoke, the ideas he had were really good. And out of those, I had 2 classes, which I'm gonna get a little bit of help with him. One is something that I already had in mind, which were the vampires. And the other was the phantasmal. I don't know how to say that. And I actually do have it here. I just hope I can show this without getting myself fucking killed. So first and foremost, wait, let me just do a little something. There we go. So that Phantasm, an alternate undead race by Pointy Hat, and this is all I'm going to show right now since I don't want to get... I was researching 1D&D as well, the playtest basically. Since I wanted information, since if we're moving from 5e D&D to 1D&D, I wanted to see a little bit of changes they were making, and a lot of bold changes actually. And I'll look into that later on, but for now I'm just getting the basics of my world, so I don't really need to move into mechanics quite as much. So the Phantasm is a race that I am going to add to my world. So thank you, Pointy Hat, for that. I'm actually going to add them. Thank you very much. And later on I will see exactly what I can change about them, what I really like about them. Since I didn't see the stat sheets as a whole, I just looked into it a little bit. And I like the idea in the video, so that's why I have them. So I'm gonna add the Phantasm. Oh, nobody minds that I do. Phantasm. I really like the idea. So just to bring a bit the attention to it, just look for it. The video was called something online, so making ghost playable characters in D&D, or making ghost, I don't know, something about ghosts in D&D. And there's a video by Pointy Hat. Go ahead and look for the video and subscribe it if you want to. It was really entertaining. I really like all of his videos. So the thing about those is that they come from the style of the Revenants, quote unquote, the ghosts that don't die because they have things left to do. And the ingenious idea about it was that, as you might have seen just a small picture that I show you, there was a small hole within their hearts, where their hearts are supposed to be. And within that hole, you could have seen that, of course, there's something gonna happen with it. So since they don't have a heart, they just have a goal they have to pursue that they want to achieve, but they ended up dying because of whatever reason. The thing here is that the closer they get to their hole means that I'm just carrying a bunch of dice that I had over here. I just bought a new set of dice. And they're really cool. They're kind of like a lactic. They're plasticky, but they're pretty good. They're cheap. I think like $3. Something like that. Okay. But okay, continuing on, just 1 on 10 right there. So the thing about the Phantasm is that the longer they stray from their goal, a hole within their chest expands. And it keeps expanding to a point in which if they stray completely from their goal and they are doing nothing to achieve it, they will practically just die. They literally just disappear. And so the thing about that I found fascinating is that you might be able to do a lot of things with it. You might be able to, I don't know, just make a character close to Revenant that's just like fucking angry and want to kill the person who killed him. Or they might have a big goal in mind. And just like the idea of having to not stray from your goal, or you will literally just disappear. And there is no way for you to be resurrected, since that's literally the same as, well, a god giving you the opportunity to do one last thing before dying. And once you have completed it, you disappear from the world, and there is no way to get your soul back. And the same thing applies if you stray from your goal. You just disappear, and there's no way to resurrect you, bring you back to life, nothing like that. And while I was watching the video, I did think of a couple of things. Maybe imagine you were a phantasm. But for the playable character, this is my idea for what you could do to race. Imagine if you were a phantasm. You might have to extend the time limit for how much you can stray from your goal. But you're a phantasm. You had a goal in mind, but for some reason you have amnesia. So you end up waking up just as a ghost. Literally, an incorporeal ghost that just wanders around. You have a fucking huge asshole in your chest, and you do not know why. You're literally a ghost who just don't have any knowledge of what they are supposed to do. And so you ended up, let's say, he's a playable character, as I said before, you ended up joining a group of adventurers, and so as you were going forward, you start noticing, yeah, your fucking chest hole starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And at some point, you ended up having an encounter within something during the party's adventure that makes you remember what was happening. And so now you have the urgency of fucking doing something about your fucking chest hole, because because the moment you remember that, like, it maybe shrunk a little bit. And that gives you the opportunity to be able to bring a strong emotion to the player. I like that, I don't know. That was just an idea that I maybe would have done if I had a character who wanted to run a phantasm. I just like the idea, so that's why I'm adding it to my world. Okay, so to stop with that, now I'm actually gonna have to go ahead and fill the information for the rest of the races. So first and foremost, I'm gonna go and look where I left off. Check that. Let me put you all back over here. Hey, back to the document. So let's go all the way down. Actually, you have to fix some spacing issues because, yep, I didn't erase some things, so now to fix this. Okay. I think it's good, right? Yeah, we're good. Now let's go all the way down. Halflings, dwarves, yeah. Okay, so let's go with the information of elves. Our usual edgy character starting point. My first character was, well, it's not even a full elf, it was a half elf, so yeah, pretty edgy. He was called Pussy Destroyer 69. I did not come up with a name. A friend of mine gave him to me. So I was just asking around the table, hey, so what should I name him? And they're like, Pussy Destroyer 69. I was like, sure. Hey, greetings. In Coin 1. Hey, how's it going? Just a little bit of late night planning my D&D world, since I just wanted to become a DM out of nowhere. So I've been wanting to do it for a while. So, hey, how's it going? So, for the elves, let's exactly look at their stat sheets and information about them, since I do not know how's it going. So let's see, let's look at the information on the elves from the D&D Beyond page. I'm going to read a little bit about it, since I want to get some information about how they usually are, and then I'll look more into it. Let's go back to this. I really need to get a stream deck, since it's getting kind of annoying just having to switch every time on the OBS, but sure. Okay. Elf race details. I'm gonna just skip this, since this is just flavor text. Okay, elves are magical people of otherworldly grace, living in the world, but not entirely part of it. They live in places of ethereal beauty in the midst of ancient Wow, I cannot read right now. Is it just, maybe I'm just sleepy. That might be it. In the midst of ancient forests, or in silvery spires glittering with I just thought of like 3 ways how maybe I could pronounce this. Fairy. No, it's not fiery. I'll just say fiery. Fiery light. Where soft music drifts through the air and gentle fragrances waft of the breeze. Elves love nature and magic. That's something that everybody knows. Art and artistry. Yep, music and poetry. And the good things of the world. So slender and graceful. With their unearthly grace and fine features, elves appear hauntingly beautiful to humans. Oh no, what? Just one thing. In coin, sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble saying words right now for some reason. If you have any question about what I'm doing, what I've done in the past couple of, well, right now it's just almost 30 minutes of work, but I've done this for, I think it was 2 hours the last time I did it, so I have a little bit of information when it comes to the things in my world, the races I've added, and a lot of other things. So if you have anything to say, just go ahead and tell me. Right now I'm just reading because I want to get a little bit more information about the elves. Okay, they are slightly shorter than humans on average. This is something that I've seen a lot of people just flat out ignored, making them shorter than humans. They just make them tall, slender, beautiful, and I've done this myself, so I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just pointing it out for myself because I find it kind of funny. Ranging from well under 5 feet tall to just over 6 feet. They are more slender than humans, weigh only 100 to 145 pounds. Males and females are about the same height, and males are marginally heavier than females. Okay, so information that I want to take from this. So this is basically just okay. So first and foremost, I'm gonna add that. What should I exactly add about this? I'm just gonna put. Oh wait, this is the wrong sheet. Okay, here we go. So when it comes to their weight, this is basically just flavor text, since I know that if anybody ends up playing in my campaign, they're just gonna ignore most of the things around here. But maybe if I want to make an NPC and I want to look back on the information that I have on the elves, I'm not gonna have to do a lot of things. So okay, let's go with they are slightly shorter than humans, ranging from okay, here we go. I'm just gonna copy and paste this information. Not a lot of work that I want to do. Copy and paste. And right now I'm not showing the Word document since I'm literally just copying information. Okay, let's go down. Oh, hey, another first time channel. Kurai Kai. I don't know, I'm having a problem with case right now for some reason. My Sunday campaign, we have a short elf. Oh, there we go. That's good to change things up. I think, let's see, in the campaign I'm currently playing it, is there even an elf? I don't think there is, actually. Hey, but good for you, make a little bit of diversity having a short elf. Let's see, more slender than humans, they weigh only 100 to 145 pounds. Control C. Wait, no, I was W. Okay, there we go. Oh, and usual Kieran. She can topple even with how high her grapple check is. Yeah, at least she's doing something with that strength. That's good on her. I was gonna say, Kira. I was just gonna go ahead and say, Kirai, if you have any question about what I'm doing of what I've done previously, just go ahead and ask. No, since I'm just basically just copying information that I'm reading to myself about the elf race right now. Let's see, where even was I? Okay. 100 to 145 pounds. Let's see, what else is there? That was the basic information. Males and females are about the same height. This is just basic information, so that doesn't really matter. I want to get more onto the specifics, which was these and this. That's GM stuff while I try and create this character in someone's custom system. Go ahead. DM stuff while I try and create this character in someone's custom system. What kind of character are you trying to create? Just wondering. I'm the kind of person who just likes to go ahead and make people. I should even say this. Like, I'm just gonna bring out random information to some people. Maybe just ideas that they might want to get. They might not be the best, but I maybe just want to go ahead and say a little something. Maybe like, I should even say this. Just I don't know. Want to pick something out of it. I have a lot of information for that kind of stuff, a lot of ideas that I don't even get to use myself since I'm basically just waiting for the campaign to start and most of the things in the world. So I want to get this done before I can start making characters, PCs, and NPCs. I have a lot of ideas for the NPCs basically, and maybe I might be able to give you a little something you might be able to use. Okay, I'll be a tank. That's actually a tank. That's right. So you want to be a tank, not a big DPS? So wait, aren't tanks supposed to be like big DPS, big chunk DPS? But that's what you were supposed to do as tanks. I'm wrong with that, huh? I'll be a tank. That's actually a tank. So what do you have an idea for a tank? Maybe a raise that's a little bit like naturally tanky, or want to go with something like a paladin, something like that? Let's see. Let me keep reading this. Elves correlation encompasses the normal human range, and also excludes clean. Okay, this a little bit of text includes skin in shades of copper, bronze, and almost bluish white. Hair green or blue, and eyes like pools of liquid gold or silver. Elves have no face show and little body hair. They favor elegant clothing. So basically, it's just a bunch of flavor text for how you might want to make an elf, but I'm probably not going to end up using that much. Let's see. Let me just add this to the Word document as well. If I'm not showing it, it's basically because I'm just copying and pasting things, and I don't find that to be really enjoyable. So having to keep switching between the scenes. So there's that. Okay, let's see. Oh, classes system. Also, even paladins are just DPS with more health. Yeah, basically. A classless system. Actually, I do have a friend who is making his own classless system as well. He's basically making it so that you basically get some feats from first level, and he's also making it so it's a little bit weird, the system, since so first you have to roll a dice to see if you have like an aura, if you're aura or a magic adept, and then after that you have to take a couple of feats and backgrounds, and that's how you build your character. You're not exactly having a class, but you're making out of the first dice roll that you get, and then after that you take some feats from other classes that are well, not even classes in his world, but just like basically some homebrew things. But I actually like the idea. Classless system. So how exactly is your classless system? I'm just wondering. I'm not gonna like steal it or nothing like that. I'm not gonna use it or nothing like that. Just wondering. Okay, everyone is considered mages, but that's just because we're one of the only ones in the world that can control. Okay. That's interesting. So it speaks like you're kind of special kind of people. So just like your adventuring party? And I'm actually just reading chat, and I'm not even looking at the information. The elves, sorry about that. Okay, elves can live well over 700 years. This is good information. If you have a long-lived character, I'm gonna add that as well. Let me get that. Paste. Oh wait, I pasted that on the wrong place. Let me add that. Okay. Okay, this is a school setting, huh? 5 sets with 3 stats each, of which we have 150 points to put into what win. Huh, that's actually kind of interesting. So you're not going for the medieval kind of... Are you still going for the medieval setting on the school, or is it just a little bit more modern? Where exactly is the setting for it? Let's see... Oh, cyberpunk, yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Giving them a proper perspective on events that might trouble the shorter-lived races more deeply. They are more often amused than exciting, and more likely to be curious than greedy. They tend to remain aloof and unfazed by petty happenstances when pursuing a goal. However, whether adventuring on a mission or learning a new skill or art, elves can be focused and relentless. They are slow to make friends and enemies, and even slower to forget them. They reply to petty insults with disdain and to serious insults with vengeance. Like the branches of a young tree, elves are flexible in the face of danger. They trust in diplomacy and compromise to resolve differences before they escalate to violence. They have been known to retreat from intrusions to other woodlands homes, confident that they can simply wait the invaders out, but when the need arises, elves reveal a stern, martial side, demonstrating skills with sword, bow, and strategy. Okay, so any information that I want to take from this? Not exactly. I'll take this little bit of information since it's good to know that they are the most gung-ho about just going at it into a fight. They might try to solve things with diplomacy, which is good. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me read that. That's the example they gave for the current technological advancement of the world. So of course we have the choice of cyberware, bioware, and chips. Huh. Just wondering, because of the thing recently said, inspired by any chance by the cyberpunk, basically the game or the runners. Just wondering. Or is it basically just how should I say this? Just exactly just cyberpunk. What world means basically Earth, but post-nuclear winter and put back into place. Yes, I mean it's trying to share that. That's what I was talking about. The idea. It's Earth post-nuclear winter and put back into place. Huh. That sounds really interesting, actually. And for the races, it's going to be mainly humans? Or do you have the plans of fighting other types of races? Let's see, 8 times perspective, we're done with that. The hidden wallet, realms. Most elves dwell in small forests, villages hiding among the trees. Elves hunt game, gather food, and grow vegetables, and their skill and magic allow them to support themselves without the need for clearing and plowing land. They are talented artisans, craft and finely work clothes and art objects. Their contract with outsiders is usually limited, though a few elves make a good living by trading crafted. Not exactly useful information that I want to add. Elves encountered ice out at the fuck. English is hard. Don't let anybody tell you that English is not hard. Okay. Okay, so basically humanoid race is good. Of which Australia got turned into Sargonia by 7 dragons. That's actually a pretty extreme thing. Anyway, I've been working on my Later Medieval Fantasy World building project. Now I want to see your opinion on the gods and magic I made. Sure. Actually, I do have a couple of ideas for the gods and the kind of things that I want to add in my world. Just go ahead and calling one. Go ahead. Tell me what you got. Encountered outside their land, artisans, sages, human nobles compete for their service of elves. Well, this is basically not actually information though. Now this one, exploring an adventure. Yep. Text, flavor text. Yep, not interested. Let's see. Methuselah. I'm really having trouble just doing English, basically. Methuselah borders most Central Europe countries and thus the knightly traditions. Elf names. I'm just taking that out of the window since. Well, actually, it might be good information for PCs and such, but I'm not really interested in that as of now, since I'm basically just adding the race. Okay, the sub races. Ancient divides amongst the elves people resulted in 3 main subraces. The high elves, of course, the wood elves, and the dark elves, who are commonly known as the drow. Okay, so Victoria is the country that splits off from Methuselah and is more like the Victorian era kind of country. Okay. So you could say that in that case, Victoria, so it might be a little bit, how should I say this, the cyberpunky in that case? So more akin to steampunk, maybe? Complete with power armor and military-grade cyberware, even for cities. Oh. Actually, funny thing here, for the Victoria, that's actually one of the gods that I'm planning to make later on. That's actually my god of fortune and probably war, but I'm still not sure on that. I'm just finding a familiar name that I'm probably going to use later on. Okay, so this is the important thing. This is the things that I actually do want to take, the elf traits. So I'm basically just going to do a little something called click and drag. So I'm taking all of this. Oh, actually, the allergen. That's something that I have to look at. That's just basically for the elves. The allergen, that's a variant. This version of the allergen originally appeared in the the Dungeon Master's Guide is an example for creating your own subraces. I'm probably gonna skip on that one basically for now, since I think I saw them before, but I'm gonna leave that for later. I'm probably just gonna take the basic elves. The high, the wood, and the dark. Let me make a little space in my Word document since I'm gonna have to copy a lot of things right now. Okay, that's actually a lot of information that I'm gonna have to look into little by little. Let's see. Colombia is basically just California, New York, and Las Vegas trying to scooch. Oof. I had to take out of California, New York, Las Vegas. Oof, yeah, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough place to be in, I'm sure. Okay, and in coin, let's see. So Odin gods, that's 10 major deities, namely of wisdom, war, sands, waters, woods, plains, love, prosperity, travel, life. Okay, and 12 minor gods, 12 minor deities, as well as 3 groups of spirits so far. Seo magics, usually granted to people of religious fervor in order to accomplish a certain task, prosperous for the Odin gods. Okay. Seo magics most often superhuman strength, agility, and enhancing reflexes. Along with it tends to come a positive character trait. Therefore, they can become more kind, patient, and that's where you caught me off. So let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, so first let's look at what you have. Okay, so 10 major deities. Okay, so there's wisdom, war, sands. That's something I was not so that probably means that in your setting there should be a bunch of, well, that not exactly desert, but well, sandy places. I just didn't want to say sandy places, and that sounded kind of redundant. Let's place it with sands. So waters, obviously, the woods, the plains, love, prosperity, travel, life. Major deities. So just this is something that I always think about, but a deity for, I don't know, like death and life, something along those lines. Do you have anything like that? I always think it's really important to have somebody that represents that aspect of basically just, well, life, literally life and death. In my case, I do have an idea for what I want to do with my death and life gods, but that's something I'll have to do later on. So I just mainly have it like in a little space in the back of my mind. Okay, let me read this information that I had on the elves. Okay, so your elf character has a variety of natural abilities that result in thousands of years of elven refinement. Okay, ability score increase. It's sexuality, pretty good for rogues. Age, although elves reach physical maturity at about the same age as humans, the elven understanding of adulthood goes beyond physical growth to encompass worldly experience. An elf typically claims adulthood and an adult name around the age of 100 and can live to be 750 years old. Oh. Actually, I thought they lived a little bit longer. I don't know, for some reason I had in the back of my mind that they live for around 1,000 years, something like that. Claims adulthood and an adult. Okay, so they get an adult name later on. That's interesting. Let's see, Iberia is just Mexico. But if it is used, okay, a major navy and god plays next to Europe and Italy. Kind of weird to have Mexico next to the places that represent Europe and Italy, but oh, pretty interesting concept. So Iberia. Let's see. Charitable, for example. Once the task in question has been finished, the magic evaporates. If the person in particular doesn't wish to abandon the magic, the person gets overtaken by the god of evil and his magic is corrupted by hatred, therefore naming it Ire magic. Ire mages, usually shunned, called hacks. That's really interesting. Okay, so there's okay, how exactly does the evaporation work on that? That's it. That's really interesting. Alumina, which is basically just the beginning of Warhammer. Actually, Akira, I actually do have to give you one on that, since I actually don't know nothing about Warhammer lore. I have a friend who's really into Warhammer, but I just haven't searched for it myself. Okay, there's the oldest, the most powerful of the gods, which represents, okay, life, there we go, the oldest. And can breathe life into inanimate beings to make them come to life. The matter of death is handled by the god of judgment. Okay. And the god of the on the underworld, haven't done much lore on it. Also made an expansion at the oldest. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. I don't know. In my case, okay, so the Illumin is just Literally in France combined. So that means that is what is next to us again is Iberia, right? Yeah. I'm starting to get an idea on the map of the world. It just turned into sparkles and glitter disc, which is brought back to that. Okay. So I was about to say something and I lost my train of thought. What was it actually? What even was it? Komigal? Yeah, I kind of thought about it for a minute. I'm a huge weeb myself, so I started listening to that and I was like, yeah, that's Japan as well. Kamigawa? It's of course Japan that literally has a soul society from Bleach. Of course, you have to take a good part out of Bleach. In my personal opinion, I think the soul society arc was basically the best part of Bleach. After that, I just kind of got weird, and then, well, the Iran arc was actually pretty good as well, but I read the manga myself, and the ending was, I don't know, just weird. I didn't like it. I felt that it was really rushed. It's just not my kind of thing. I was about to say, okay, yeah, and coin, and the thing was, yeah, the thing that I was about to say, it was, in my case, for the world, I first thought of, it's the kind of thing I just don't want to say out loud since, I don't know, how did I say this? Of course, everybody fighting to be from the Japanese place, typical. Fuck, I lost my train of thought again. Okay, yeah. In my case, for the world that I'm building, I tried to make it from the very beginning, from literally the start of the cosmos, and going down from that, so that I could get the, let's say, the root of everything. And after that, the branches would just spread out with the way that I would make my gods out of it. And since I haven't completely finished my creation story for the mythos of my world, I do not have my gods complete yet, which is why I just thought that it was really important in your case to have the, like, basically life and death, which is the parts, well, basically the reign over. How do I make this not sound redundant? Literally life, so yeah, that was where I was going at. Okay, size, elf range from under 5. Yeah, so this is something that everybody's gonna fucking ignore, the size of the elves. They're gonna make a fucking 7 feet tall because, yeah, sure. Elves. Okay, the speed, your base walking speed is 3 feet. Good, good. Dark vision. That's the thing. There's around 90% of the D&D races just have dark vision, so I don't know, just kind of redundant. You should just give it to everybody. Are they just humans and a couple of other? Sorry about that. That was hiccups. I know, like, they're kind of weird, but let's not mention that. Like, what was I? Oh yeah, basically just almost every race in basic D&D just has dark vision, so it's just not really much of a point to just have it here, but sure. Okay, keen senses. You have proficiency in the perception scope. That's pretty good. So, rogue. That's why I chose the elf when I did mine. Fey ancestry. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed. Oh, I didn't know that. And magic that can put you to sleep. Ursus, aka Russia, became a foreigner slave hub and got demonic traits, but are the most magically adept country. So Ursus. Russia. Foreigner slave hub, Trade the most magically adept country. Is there any reason why they are the most magically adept? Like, that's just me asking, but basically just asking for lore, why they are the most magically adept. Okay, trance. Elves don't need to sleep. Instead, they meditate deeply, remaining semi-conscious for 4 hours a day. The common word for okay, trance. While meditating, you can dream after a fashion. Such dreams are mental exercise that have been sure. After resting this way, you gain the same benefits as human does. Oh, so basically a long rest. You can take that in 4 hours. Oh, that's pretty good to know. Okay, let's see. Yan is China, except it got even more political strict. Oof, oof. I'm not gonna comment about that, but oof, that's rough. Okay, let's go. Now we're actually back. Now we're at the High Elves. Finally started moving this. I just wanted to check the basic information on the traits of the basic elves. Okay, so the High Elves. High Elves. As a High Elf, you have a keen mind and a mastery of at least the basics of magic. In many of the worlds of D&D, there are two kinds of High Elves. One, which includes the Grey Elves and Valley Elves of Greyhawk, the Sylvanesti of Dragonlance, and the Sun Elves of the Forgotten Realms. This is... I actually have to look into this more closely, since I probably am just gonna have one type of High Elf. Let's see, one type is haughty and reclusive, believing themselves to be superior than non-elves and other elves. Yep, that's the High Elf as well. That's basically its name, High. The other type, including the High Elves of Greyhawk, the Qualinesti of Dragonlance, and the Moon Elves of the Forgotten Realms are more common, more friendly, and often encountered among humans and other races. So basically, I'm probably just gonna take the Sun Elves and the Moon Elves of the Forgotten Realms, not the Dragonlance and all of the ones from Greyhawk. The Sun Elves of Faerun, also called Gold Elves or Sunrise Elves, have bronze skin and hair of copper, black, and gold blonde. Their eyes are golden, silver, and black. Okay, in the case of Moon Elves, also called the Silver Elves or Grey Elves, are much paler with alabaster skin, sometimes tinged with blue. They often have hair of silver, white, black, blue, but various shades of blonde, brown, and red are not uncommon. Their eyes are blue or green and flecking with gold. So they get an ability score increase of 1. Elf weapon training, you have proficiency with the long sword, short bow, and longbow. Cantrips. You know one cantrip of your choice from the wizard spell list. That's actually pretty good. I always want to take a cantrip whenever I can. Oh, and they turn... Okay, oh, and they also turn their cities into landships. So that's for Yan, right? So it's basically just a bunch of islands on, like, landships, basically? That was a question, by the way. I might not have sounded about it. That's a question, but that's a question. Okay, the cantrip. Okay, and your intelligence is your spellcasting ability for it. Okay, so that's basically why you get the +1 and 2. The extra language, you can speak, read, or write one extra language of your choice. And now we go to the Wood Elves. As a Wood Elf, you have keen senses and intuition, and your feet carry you quickly and stealthily through your nation forest. This category includes the Wild Elves, the Grugosh, Greyhawk, and the Kalonesti of Dragonlance, as well as the races called Wood Elves and Greyhawk and the Forgotten Realms. In Faerun, Wood Elves, also called Wild Elves, Green Elves, or Forest Elves, are reclusive and distrusting of non-elves. Wood Elves tend to be copperish in hue, sometimes with traces of green. Their hair tends towards brown and blacks, but is occasionally blonde or copper colored. Their eyes are green, brown, or hazel. Okay, let's see. Who knows, because we don't have a map yet. Which setting is an Arasaka Academy, which trains all the region. And where exactly is that academy? Basically, where is it located? Arasaka Academy. Basically, just in which of the countries is it? That's the question. Okay, so I'm supposed to do a little bit of this and a lot of this. I'm just taking this information. Control C. There we go. I know I was gonna read these before I ended up taking it. Okay, so you get a +1 to Wisdom. Elf weapon training as well. Longsword's basically the same thing. Fleet on foot. This is a thing that changes. Your base walking speed is increased by 35, which doesn't make much of a difference, but. And Mask of the Wild. You can attempt to hide even when you are only lightly obscured by foliage, heavy rain, falling snow, mist, or other natural phenomena. This on a rogue, on a campaign that basically just being on the outside might be pretty good actually. None of them. Okay. So where is it then? Is it maybe like a central hub that is none of the country, something like that? Okay, let me just copy this information back on the Word document. Let's see, where is all of that? Let me make a couple of spaces to add this information. And Control B. Oh wait, I was supposed to change something before I did that. And is that? Okay, let me just make a couple of changes so that I can. I'm just gonna make everything bold. Okay, elf traits. For that, traits. There we go. Just make a couple of little changes when it comes to this. The score increase. Okay, let me just. I'm just gonna change a little bit, make some things bold on the age document so I can just look into it later. For the size, it's this. Let me put some space as well just to make everything a little bit more compound. Wow, imagine being a D&D race and not having dark vision. Wouldn't be me, wouldn't be me. Okay, I think we're good. Oh no, there's much more than that. Okay, it is a place of 5 domes built on top of Antarctica, interconnected by aerial airways. Oh, railways. Oh, that makes a huge difference actually. Aerial railways. Wait, well, that's kind of the same thing if you think about it, but it does make a difference either way. But, oh, that's really interesting. So, built on top of by aerial railways. And are those connected by, let's say exactly that each of the continents has a quote-unquote railway that they send their mages through? No, wait, I deleted something that I wasn't supposed to. Let me get that back. Sorry. I'm actually still recovering from a cold from the past couple of days, basically. There we go. And that basically means I'm done with the elves for now. I'm gonna have to later on just add a stream, just delete some information, basically whenever it talks about other books other than the Forgotten Realm, other information about maybe Greyhawk or Dragonlance, since I don't plan on taking information from that. Just look into that later. Now let me make a couple of spaces for the next race. It's most likely the mages are air transported there or delivered by sea. That makes sense as well, but I was maybe just thinking, that's just maybe me, but I would have made like maybe every continent, since they want to like, how should I say this? Well, there's this thing that maybe just want to show off their powers of basically they just build a fucking huge ass air railway to see that, hey, so all of my mages come through here. That's just maybe like a show off. How should I say this? I'm just gonna say in the only way that I can think of. They're basically just showing has the biggest balls, just making a fucking huge ass railway all the way to the Antarctica, just send their mages, something along those lines. Release a bit. Oh, no, that makes sense. Yeah, it's cyberpunk, so yeah. I don't know. From what you told me, I was just maybe like thinking, maybe like the. Wait, let me pronounce this properly. It was Urus, right? Yeah. Like, just imagine if Urus are just like, hey, you know what? Like, yeah. Like, let me just think about it for a little bit. And I'll say something. I don't want to say something stupid out of it. Oh, also with some monster? Yeah, that makes sense. I was just maybe thinking along the lines of, you know what, like, we have a lot of slaves, we're gonna make them build a fucking huge-ass air magical railway. Just because, like, we have the biggest boss, we're the biggest magical continent in the world, something like that. Basically just a show off dick and boss, like, hey, fuck you. But yeah, it makes sense in the post-apocalyptic world. And, well, of course, monsters. Yeah, so that's probably not gonna be possible. Check if there's anything else that I need to fix when it comes to the elves. So there is that thing about the allergen, but I'm gonna have to check that later as well, since I'm not really so sure about that race yet. Whenever I hear a couple of clicking noises, I'm just moving a set of dice that I bought recently. It's just a really cute, cool color. I'm just moving them around. Let's see. Okay, so that basically means I'm done with the elves for now. So, now, the thing about the Dragonborn in my setting is that I wanted to make them a little bit special. Basically, not make Dragonborns as a whole special. They are basically going to be special in the case that they come from dragons. And the game is D&D, so imagine a fucking game called Dungeons and Dragons and not having dragons being something really special in your world. It's just something that I've never really understood. Let's see. So the thing in my world is I was researching information about the dragons, and apparently there's a shit ton more from. There comes Tiamat, who is the deity of the dragons. Well, chromatic dragons. Yeah, wait, it was chromatic dragons, right? The color ones, yeah, chromatic dragons. And from her 5 heads, it's the red dragon, the blue dragon, the green dragon, the white dragon, and the black dragon. And from those come, well, they basically those are the races of the dragons that are available, but there was also some information about Tiamat's sister, who apparently got killed by her on some magazine from old ass time ago, from like Dragon Magazine, which I think is the magazine published by the D&D guys. And so some guy just said like, oh yeah, Tiamat, oh yeah, she had a fucking sister, and like she had it was 3 heads, and one was purple, one was yellow, and the other one was what's the other one? Orange. And so there was that, and apparently there was somebody who wanted to make it so that like the dragons, I don't know, whenever they fucked, like a new color of dragon would be born, he would have special powers, something like that. And apparently from that, what was it? So the orange dragon apparently had a sulfuric breath weapon, so it would just like throw, I think, yeah, it was sulfur, so he would throw sulfur, fuck, English is hard today, I don't know why, sulfur on people, and over time it would just explode. And then there was the yellow dragon, which would throw salt, which is kind of weird at first when I heard it, but apparently it would like kind of crystallize and make it so that you couldn't move. And there was a lot of information about dragons, so I was thinking on maybe incorporating the dragons into my world in that way. That I would add more than the regular. That was 7 dragons, I think, of course, and not including the metallic dragons. And then maybe and those. Oh, also there was a pink dragon for some reason that they ended up adding. Apparently it shot bubbles and it was pink. It was a really weird concept, but I ended up enjoying it. So I was thinking about adding those into my world, but I wanted to make them a little bit special, and that is the reason why I actually had to get the information on my creation story, so I could find a way to fit in the dragons, maybe adding a little bit of more flair to them. I don't know, there was a lot of things that I could have done on that, but I still don't have the information on it. Also, yeah, so first things first, I'm not gonna add Tiamat. Well, probably not gonna add her, since I wanna make it my world, well, basically my world, so I'm gonna have to, if I end up adding her, it's gonna be pretty different from what she usually is. I'm gonna have a dragon god, of course. Cucumber god 13. I'm just gonna ignore the numbers, are bad. So, okay, cucumber. Nice to hear. So I'm just basically talking about dragons in my world. just a little bit of lore about the basic dragons on D&D and a bunch of things that I want to chat. So basically there is a shit ton of dragons. Well, basically in this case I'm talking about the chromatic dragons. Apparently there were other 3 types of dragons that they don't regularly have on the DM's guidebook, something like that. Now, let's see, I always imagined that Tiamat talked to her heads. Like, actually, the thing about the heads, from what I ended up researching, which was basically just watching YouTube videos, is that they are not exactly separate entities. It's basically, there is a, let's say, heart or brain inside of our body that controls them. So basically, they are just appendages to the being that is Tiamat. Which is kind of weird, I don't know. And apparently also, she can change her form, so sometimes she doesn't exactly have the 5 heads, sorry. And past versions of D&D, she actually just had 3, something like that. And where was I? Actually lost my train of thought really badly. Actually, yeah, it's so much clearer that way. I'm not gonna take that from you. I'm just throwing out lore instead, something that I watched in the YouTube video. I mean, something that I researched, quote unquote. It was basically just watching YouTube videos about the information on dragons. And so since I wanted to make dragons, let's say a little bit more important in my world, I was basically gonna put off the dragonborns for now. Since I do, of course, want to have a mass race, but I do think that they should be much important in the way that you well, since they are, well, that depends on the setting, but they are supposed to be descendants of dragons in some way or form, so I want to make them a little bit special. And in my case, I wanted to see, basically, I wanted to add all of the dragons to my world in one way or another. Let's see, like opening arteries with his to melt through the Dorman steel. Okay, so let's get the lore on that. So Lacey is the green dragon in that case. So now we have a name for the green dragon. You know what? Maybe I might just add that. Just for some reason, if I ever do end up adding the green dragon in my world, I'll just end up calling Lacey because I just found that really funny. Yep. Now you have a character in my world. Well, that's gonna be much later on, but I might just make a green dragon called Lacey because of that. It's funny. Okay, so I'm not gonna add the dragonborn yet, so I'm gonna skip on that. Then I'm gonna go on the gnomes. Actually, the thing is, I have never exactly known the difference between gnomes and halflings. That's just me, because in the games that I played in, nobody ever chose gnome or halfling. They usually went for the most edgy races like the tiefling, the elves, the dragonborns, even a dwarf every now and again, but nobody chose this too. And I already had the information on the halflings, so now I'm gonna see into the information on the gnomes, since I basically know nothing about the race. Okay, so this is just flavor checks, which I'm obviously gonna ignore. No need for that. And here we go. A constant hum of busy activity pervades the warrens and neighborhoods where gnomes from their close-knit communities. Louder sounds punctuate a hum, a crunch of grinding gears here, a minor explosion there, a yelp of surprise or triumph, and especially bursts of laughter. Gnomes take delight in life, enjoy every moment of invention, exploration, investigation, creation. It's like, oh yeah, I think I do remember a little bit about this information specifically about gnomes. They were mostly inventors or tinkerers. Let's see, give her like some sort of brain damage or ridiculous. You know what? Yeah, on her layer, you don't find gold. She just has a strange addiction for cucumbers. She just likes them, and she will hoard cucumbers. You'll see a huge green dragon just descending up on a village and just asking, they're bringing all their gold and stuff like that. They're throwing their weapons to the floor. She just asks, hey, you got cucumbers, something like that? And she'll just take all the cucumbers in the village and just run off. It's actually kind of funny to think about as well. Just imagine a huge... How big are dragons actually? Let's just see, just a huge ass dragon comes flying from the sky and just like, hey, cucumbers. And she just runs off with them. Let's see, a vibrant expression. A gnome's energy and enthusiasm for living shines through every inch of his or her tiny body. Gnomes average slightly over 3 feet tall and weight for 42, 45 pounds. Let me add that information. Basically here I'm just gonna basically take basic stats from the races. If I ever want to add a, let's say basically if anybody has wants information about a gnome, if they want to build a PC around them, I just have like the quote unquote basic information on them. They can build up on that. Or if I want to build an NPC for a gnome, I just have the information here as well, which I can use. Let's see, so that's the average height. It's not equal to 3 feet tall, and the weight is 40 to 45 pounds. I have a Word document open on another page. I'm not showing it. I'm basically just copying and pasting things. She doesn't demand. She just asks the people, and they give it to her because. Imagine a symbiotic relationship between a dragon and a basic just village and out on the sticks. They're just like, hey, so this are about to get wasted, so on some cucumbers, they just go to the dragon's lair. They have like an altar and everything, and the dragon just comes out, takes a cucumber, and goes back in. That's a good way to just not get killed basically by a dragon. Just get cucumbers. Let's see. Their tan or brown faces are usually adorned with broad smiles. I was about to say bead for some reason. Beneath their prodigious noses and their bright eyes shine with excitement. Their fair hair has a tendency to stick out in every direction, as if expressing the gnome's insatiable interest in everything around. A gnome's personality is red, large in his or her appearance. Male gnome's beard, in contrast to his wild hair, is kept carefully trimmed, but often styled into curious forks or neat points. A gnome's clothing, though usually made in modest earth tones, is elaborately decorated with embroidery, embossing, or gleaming jewels. Let's see, let me take this information as well. It's just basic flavor text for the gnomes, but I do find it useful. In the case somebody wants to maybe look at the wardrobe of a gnome, let me just make some spaces. Let me just remove this about. Okay, so a beard, and a clothing. There we go. That's good information to have. Let me just make a little bit of space for the next thing. Okay, make them love her, but make it so they have to kill her. There's two things that may happen. They run off with Lacey, or they kill Lacey and cry about it. Oof. What? Why would you want to kill a dragon who just wants cucumbers? That's the thing. How would you make the playable characters need to kill her? Well, maybe the Lord of the Land just want a dragon just taking cucumbers, but I don't know. Why exactly would you? Well, maybe for a mission you have to bring dragon skills and you find her easy to be killed off. Maybe like an evil party wants to go ahead and kill her. Actually, there are a bunch of possibilities that you can have for that. A road creep. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. Road creep. In my case, if I was playing on that adventuring party, I probably would just let her live. Just learn, not doing anything bad. Okay, let's see. Delighted dedication. Actually, yeah, that's another way to put it. Maybe the queen doesn't have information, so maybe you might be able to bring her over to the queen. Well, not in the case she. No, let's go back on that. I didn't see the other message. And the queen hates dragons. Okay, so if the queen hates dragon, then that's out of the table. So in that case, yeah, you might just need to go ahead and let her escape, something like that. Okay, delight, dedication. As far as gnomes are concerned, being alive is a wonderful thing. And they squeeze every ounce of enjoyment out of their 3 to 5 centuries. Well, that's actually a long time to live, 3 to 5 centuries. I didn't know they lived that long. Humans might wonder about getting bored over the course of such a long life, and elves take plenty of time to savor the beauties of the world in their long years. But gnomes seem to worry that even with all the time, they can't get enough out of the things they want to do and see. Gnomes speak as if they can't get the thoughts out of their heads fast enough. Even as they offer ideas and opinions on a range of subjects, they still manage to listen carefully to others, adding the appropriate exclamations of surprise and appreciation along the way. Though gnomes love jokes of all kinds, particularly puns and pranks, they're just as dedicated to the more serious tasks they undertake. Mainly, gnomes are skilled engineers. There we go. That's the information that I actually knew about gnomes. Engineers, alchemists, thinkers, and inventors. They're willing to make mistakes and laugh at themselves in the process of perfecting what they do, taking both sometimes full-heartedly risk and dreaming large. You write lazy to the queen to kill the queen and cover her eyes and ears because she's a pure soul. Wow, imagine how that would change the dynamic of the campaign. Going from having to kill a dragon to befriending it to giving it cucumbers to going with it to kill the queen. Now that's a pretty good turn for a campaign. What would you even do after that? You might have the whole... Well, you might have to rule the country from then on, since you just killed the queen and everyone's gonna go and try and kill you for that. Well, you have a dragon by your side, so that's good. Where was I? Okay, Bright Barrow. Let's see. Is there any information here that I... Okay. I do have to take this... they live for 3 to 5 centuries of life. That's good information to have. Sorry about that. That's my hiccups. Let's see. Actually, for a one-shot, that's a really good idea. You can just go ahead and... yeah, actually. Not a bad idea. You make it all around her, then you just go ahead and save her, and that's pretty much the end of the campaign. You don't have to worry about the repercussions of having a whole country against your back, like literally in the center of the country that you just killed their queen, so that's a good idea. Anyway, but there's two... the bards. The good old bards, the dragon fuckers. Sorry for that guy if you ever tried to do that with Lacey. I should remember, where did they start getting that? Oh, what was the word for that? Oh yeah, the reputation for being dragon fuckers. I don't even remember that. I don't know where I just thought, yeah, bards, yeah, dragon fuckers. Okay, let's go on with Bright Burrows. Gnomes make their homes in hilly woodlands. They live underground but get more fresh air than dwarves do. Enjoying the natural living world on the surface wherever they can, their homes are well hidden by both clever construction and simple illusions. Welcome visitors are quickly ushered into the bright, warm burrows. Those who are not welcome are unlikely to find the burrows in the first place. Gnomes who settle in human lands are commonly gem cutters, engineers, sages, or thinkers. Some human families retain gnome tutors, ensuring that their pupils enjoy a mix of serious learning and delighted enjoyment. A gnome tutor... Is it just me? This is a weird sentence to say. A gnome tutor several... This is missing an S, right? A gnome tutors several generations? That's just missing an S. Several generations of a single human family over the course of his or her long life. Nah, the alchemy passports didn't move too. Where? What is Maconia? That's actually something that I have no information on. What exactly is Maconia? Okay, anything that I can take from here? That's basically just their home, so I don't really need that for now. Gnome names. I'm not going to take this information either, so I can just go back and look at this page if I ever need gnome NPCs. So let's see in the world. Let's see. They spend their days in a pool of cucumbers. It's it's Mexico. Yeah, now I'm getting Mexico. That makes sense. So you just kill the queen. Yeah, we're going to Mexico. Yeah, see y'all. Tough luck too, you don't have a queen. I'm back in Mexico. See y'all. Let's see, seeing the world. Curious and impulsive gnomes might take up adventuring as a way to see the world for the love of exploring. As lovers of gems and other fine items, some gnomes stick to adventuring as a quick, if dangerous, path to wealth. Regardless of what spurs them to adventure, gnomes who adopt this way of life eke as much enjoyment out of it as they do out of any other activity they undertake, sometimes to the great annoyance of other adventuring companies. Always appreciative. It's rare for a gnome to be hostile or malicious unless he or she has suffered a grievous injury. Gnomes know that most races don't share their senses of humor, but they enjoy anyone's company just as they enjoy everything else they set out to do. You know what, actually, just thinking about it, Cucumber Cat, you might actually, but all I think about lately, you might end up enjoying a lot with the pink dragon. They're actually pretty curious creatures. Of course, they're pink. They're a little bit smaller than regular dragons, but they're the kind of dragons that tell jokes. And they spit bubbles. That's their breath weapon. Literally bubbles. Well, soap bubbles. Just to make a little correction on that. Okay, so the sub races. Okay. Oh, that's much easier. Yeah, that's much easier than just going out with the whole name. Right, got so, yeah. Look at the information on the pink dragons. They're literally funny. The thing about them is, with dragons, like they usually collect like gold and stuff like that. But with gold, I was about to say gold dragons. With pink dragons, they collect jokes. Literally, their treasure is centuries of jokes. Since they live a long time, the thing that they collect, it's not gold. It's literally just jokes. Let's see. Subrace. Choose one of the subraces below or one from another source. Deep gnomes. A third subrace of gnomes, deep gnomes, or... Okay, I'm gonna try to say this, but it's not gonna be good. Oh, it's Sbirfnevelin. I think I've heard that term before. Sbirfnevelin? It's hard to say, but I think I got the gist of it. Lives in small communities scattered in the Underdark. Thing about the Underdark in my setting, I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna manage it. I still don't have any idea for the world building, so I might not have deep gnomes in case that I do not end up creating the Underdark in my setting. Unlike the Duergar and the Drows, it's really hard to pronounce this. Sbirfnevelin are as good as their surface cousins. However, their human enthusiasm are damped by their oppressive environment. Well, yeah, living in the Underdark, I'm sure, is not the most pretty thing to be in. It's not the best environment to be in, considering you're surrounded by monsters that could literally kill you just by taking a wrong step or a wrong turn in a cave. And their inventive expertise is directed mostly towards stonework. Okay, let's see. The whole lazy thing came from my sister when I was signing a dragon encounter, and she requested it to collect babies. Is it no? Okay, so collecting babies in the sense that like collecting babies to raise them or eating them, since that's like a wide spectrum when it comes to either or. I'm hoping it's like raising them as our own children or something like that. That's a much sweeter story than the other thing that I was thinking of. Oh, dolls, okay. Wait. So like babies to keep as dolls or like literally baby dolls? Because once again, like that's a huge margin of difference between how evil that dragon is. Oh, okay, an infant dragon. Oh, okay. So like, what are infant dragons called? I think they were called like worms or something like that, like WYRM, something like that. Okay, so she's okay. Lacey's an infant dragon. Okay, that makes sense. That makes it. Okay, so like. Okay, so she would kidnap babies to keep as dolls, like kind of quote unquote playmates, something like that. Okay, let's see. Gnome traits. Your gnome character has a citric characteristic and common with all other gnomes. Okay. Ability score increase. Your intelligence score increases by 2. That's good. Age. Gnomes mature at the same rate as humans do, and most are expected to settle down into an adult life by around age 40. They can live 350 to almost 500 years. Okay, size. Gnomes are between 3 to 4 feet tall and average about 40 pounds. Your size is small. Okay. Speed, since they're a little bit shorter, they have. I'm just a little bit sleepy. They have 5 feet less. Dark vision, accustomed to life on the ground. You have superior vision in the dark and dim conditions. You can see, so basically just a regular dark vision that everybody has on D&D. Her favorite one is a doll in a velvet hood named Victoria. What is it with people naming things Victoria? This is the second time. There was somebody else. Previously it was I'm really bad with names. Kirai. He also had I think it was in his case it was a city, and the setting that we were playing was Victoria. And in my case, I have the concept of a goddess called Victoria as well. That's a really pretty name. I actually really like it. Let's see, where was I? Okay, dark vision. Yep, everybody has dark vision. You have dark vision. Gnomes have dark vision. Elves have dark vision. Humans don't. Humans suck. Barbarian humans don't. Let's see. Gnome. Cunning. We have advantage on all intelligence. What's my curse? Oh, against magic. That makes sense. I was just reading this part, and that sounded really strong. Just having advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma against saving throws. It's really strong with that against magic, and that makes it a little bit better. Okay, languages. You can speak, read, and write Common and Gnomish. The Gnomish language, which uses the Dwarvish script, is renowned for its technical treaties and its catalogs of knowledge about the natural world. Okay, now we're on the Deep Gnomes. Let me just copy this real quick. So I have to add this to my Word document on the gnomes. I'll show the Word document a little bit since I haven't shown it basically since the stream started. Sorry about that. That was my hiccups as well. Just for context, I literally do have chronic hiccups, so that's gonna happen every now and again, consecutively for no apparent reason. I just live with that. Let me add a section for the traits. I want to name my kid Victoria Bicky for short if a girl, and Victor if a boy, but my BF wants a Belle and a Joshua. I actually like Victor. I think Victor's a really good name. I don't take offense of it, don't worry. It's kind of funny how a lot of people just laugh at it every now and again. I want to name my kid Victoria. Yeah, actually, both of them. Victoria and Vic are really good names. I really like them. I'm not so sure on the Belle part. The Joshua's good, but Belle, I don't know, I just don't like it. It might just be a little bit too short. Well, for my taste, I mean. But in case for yours guys, I actually really like them, both of them. Victoria and Vicky, I think they're really good names. Right now I'm just basically checking some information when it comes to the... I'm basically just making the trait bold and deleting some information from the Word document, which isn't really that exciting, so I'm not showing it right now. I'll show it in a little bit when I finish with the information on the gnomes. Wait, let me just add a little space here. Bellator. That's a unique name. Never heard that before. Is there any context to why that name exactly? I would like to know the story for that. I don't know, that's just it's just a name I haven't heard before. Oh yeah, I was supposed to finish this. There we go. Deep Gnomes. That's from Legacy. Okay. Forest gnomes and rock gnomes are the gnomes most commonly encountered in the lands of the surface world. There's another sub-race of gnomes, rarely seen by any surface dweller. Deep Gnomes, also known as, once again we go with the name that I can't pronounce properly, Sburfnavelin, I think. Guarded and suspicious of outsiders, Sburfnavelin are cunning and tactician, but can be just as kind-hearted, loyal, and compassionate as their surface cousins. When you create a gnome character, you may choose the Deep Gnome as an alternative sub-race in the player's handbook. Let's see, ability score increase, you get a +1 to dexterity, pretty good. Age, Deep Gnomes are shorter for gnomes. They mature at the same rate as humans do, and are considered full-grown adults by 25, so basically just like a human. They live to 100 to 250 years. Although hard toil and the dangers of the Underdark often claim them before their time. Yeah, when I live in such a dangerous place, living to 200, that's a pretty good goal. You get to 200 living over there. Let's see, alignment. Sburfnavelin believe that survival depends on avoiding entanglements with other creatures and on making enemies. So they favor neutral alignments. They rarely wish others ill. And they are unlikely to take risk on behalf of others. Understanding. And even more when you're living here. Size, a typical Sburfnavelin stands at about 2 to 3.5 feet tall. Oh, so they're a little bit shorter. And weigh from 80 to 120 pounds. Do they weigh more than the regular gnomes? Let me just check it out real quick. Wow. Yeah, they actually do weigh much more than them. The regular gnomes weigh 40. They weigh from 80 to 120. This is a small size. Oh, super. There we go. Superior attack version. Now that makes them a little bit better than basically every other race in D&D. Okay, so he saw me playing Warhammer 40k game and said Bellator sounds cool. That was the second time that I heard somebody talk about Warhammer. Actually, I have no idea. I've heard of the game from a friend of mine. He said that it was a really cool game, but I've never played it before. What exactly is it about? Just wondering. So it's okay. So Bellator is from the game. It does sound cool, but I don't know, for a child's name, it's just not. Basically, I don't know. No mean to offense, but it's just not my cup of tea when it comes to a name. I don't know. I don't know. This might sound limited with me, but it sounds like the kind of thing that maybe. If I can deliver a child and all the other version, keep fucking doing Bellator. I don't know. I just heard. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. I don't mean to be rude, but it's kind of like, I don't know, like calling your child Naruto or Goku or something like that. It just, I don't know. I just find it funny. Just imagine your child comes up and, hey, Bellator, Goku, how's it going? How was school today? I don't know. I just find it kind of funny. I don't know. I just don't like the name for a child. Might just be me. But he likes it. He might be able to compromise. If I was you, I wouldn't, but. You can see in the 41st millennia, the human race is in a war with like 3 fucking alien races. And. Oh. 41st millennia. Huh. Well, that sounds interesting. What kind of game is it? Is it a I don't know, but is it a shooter? Is it a I don't know. I'm running out of game genres. Is it a Metroidvania? Is it a what exactly kind of game? Well, basically just the genre of it. Just to get an idea of it. And well, one thing, humans almost are never the good guys, even though they might seem like it. Because, well, yeah, they're humans. Let's see, stone camouflage. You have advantage on dexterity, stealth checks. to hide in rock terrain. Actually, this is a pretty good ability. Basically, dungeons, that kind of thing. Let's see. Languages, you can speak, read, and write Common, Gnomish, and Undercommon. Oh, that's good. You actually get 3 languages from this. Will it have entry best on any kind of feat? And Undercommon is... Ooh, this was about to sound really redundant, but Undercommon just isn't a common language to get. This benevolent dialect is more guttural than Surface Gnomish, and most benevolent know only a little bit of common, but those who deal with outsiders, and that includes you as an adventurer, pick up enough common to get by. Okay, that's good to know as well. The OG. Okay, the OG is a tabletop, and the one I was playing was a mobile RTS. The closer you have two good guys in there are the two with the either idiots. Okay, now another question. That's just me being, how should I say this? Uncultured, but what is an RTS? I've heard the term before, but I just don't exactly remember what it is right now. What is that? Oh yeah, deep gnome. Let me take all of this information about the deep gnomes, and I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Of course, I researched it. I learned it. Yeah. I'm just gonna add it to the page over here. Okay, no, it's not here. Let me make a little space over here, and this is deep gnomes. Deep gnomes. And let me make the small separation on the Word document, and there we go. We're good. Oh, real-time strategy. Okay, I've heard. Is it something like XCOM? I think I'm a little bit more familiar. I haven't played it either, but I'm a little bit more familiar when it comes to that game. Is it akin to XCOM? That kind of game? Which I've heard XCOM is literally just like D&D, but with aliens. But just one thing, just wondering, since I cannot listen to it and I just have it on the background, since I don't want people to just listen to me talking, and every now and then I just kind of get quiet, so I put some background music. Is it too loud? Since it's kind of like the first time I've had people actually in the stream, so I do not know if it is too loud or if it's good. Just basically the volume set too high. Is it good? Okay, so that's good for deep gnomes. Let me just make a little space for the next ones, which is the rock gnomes. Let's see, as rock gnome, you have a natural inventiveness and hardiness beyond that of other gnomes. Most gnomes in the world of D&D are rock gnomes, including the Tinker gnomes of the Dragonlance setting. I do not know anything about Dragonlance, so I'm skipping that information. Let's see, the 12 gives 7 of their most important people to a race of dark elves that literally have to inflict pain on themselves and everything, or they get devoured by the prince. What did I just read? Let me read that again. The Tau give 7 of their most important people to a race of dark elves, okay? That literally have to inflict pain on themselves and everything, or they get devoured by the prince of sex and drugs. Okay, when I hear I don't know Warhammer, I just don't think about the prince of sex and drugs. Can I get a little context on that? That's, I don't know, just kind of funny and interesting. Who exactly is the prince of sex and drugs? Is it like a title in the game, or is it just like a title that you gave yourself? Let's see. Your ability score increase. Your constitution score increases by 1. Artificers lore. whenever you have an intelligence history check related to magic items, alchemical objects, or technological devices, you can add twice your proficiency bonus instead of any proficiency bonus you normally apply. Tinker. You have proficiency with artisan's tools. Using those tools, you can spend 1 hour or 10 GP worth of materials to construct a tiny clockwork device. AC 5, 1 HP. The device ceases to function after 24 hours unless you spend 1 hour repairing it to keep the device functioning, or when you use your action to dismantle it. At the time you can reclaim the materials you created. You can have up to 3 devices. Okay, let's take time. Okay, when you create a device, choose one of the following options. Clockwork toy. This toy is a clockwork animal monster or person such as frog, mouse, bird, dragon, or soldier. When placed on the ground, the toy moves 5 feet across the ground on each of your turns in a random direction. It makes noises as appropriate to the creature it represents. Okay, so this is basically just a small toy for distraction purposes. Fire starter. The device produces a miniature flame, which you can use to light a candle, torch, or campfire. Using the device requires your action. Oh, and a music box. Music box, when open, this music box plays a single song at a moderate volume. The box stops playing when it reaches the song's end or when it closes. Huh. I'm trying to find a good use for it. This ability as a whole, like, you can use it as a distraction or maybe just to pass time, but other than maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to find use for this, but I can't think of anything. It's basically just make the little toys. Fire starter, you should be able to have something in your adventurer's kit. Okay, let's see, let me build it up just to see. Okay. Oh, he's a chaos god. That makes sense. Like, okay, there's 4. Nergal, the god of sickness and death, also god of stability. Crone, god of war and bloodshed, and also god of anger and honor. Okay. Oh, so Sauka? Hey, how's it going? Good night to you. Let's see. So that's Crone. How do you pronounce that? Sentish. I'm trying to pronounce that. Scent. It's probably scent. Scent. Nurgle. Chomp. Slanish. Orny. This god of knowledge and curiosity. And god of was. Just want to say, is that actually? Is Trump the, like, actually? Is that actually a god in the game? Just curiosity, basically. Is he actually got in the game, or is that just... I just find it funny. If it literally is a gun in the game, I don't know, just find redundant and funny. Oh, cinch. Okay, that's a make... Yeah, I was not gonna get how to pronounce that. Cinch. I'm having trouble pronouncing it. Cinch. There we go. I think that's good enough. Okay. So let me copy this as well. I don't even want to. I kind of don't even want to copy this race. It's like, it looks a little bit. I don't know. I think I only have a problem with this. Where the fuck in the adventure should I even use this? I don't know. It's just. Like, it's a fun little quirk to have, but if it's just these options, I don't know if I end up at, I don't know. I'll just add it. I'll look into it later. If I want to fix something about it, I'll just, when I actually make the wreaths and everything in the world, I'll probably just look into what I'm supposed to do with that, since I don't find it that useful right now. And that was a rock gnome. My brain just froze for a second. I forgot how to write gnome. I just heard gnome. Let's see. Rock gnome. There you go. Is there actually people who pronounce it like that? I just find it fun. I just find it kind of funny. I probably will pronounce it like this because it's funny. A rock gnome. Okay, so we get a score improvement. Let me just make this bold. And after this, I'm probably going to show the Word documents. I haven't shown it in quite a while. Let me just make a couple of spaces here and there. Since this is not really interesting right now, I'm not going to show it. I'll show it in a little bit. Okay, so let me make this. There we go. Let me just make a little bit of space here. And currently we are at 2,483 words. Okay, let me just show this real quick. Let me change the scene. There we go. Okay, so now we're at the Word document. So just for a little context for people who weren't here at the start, I'm making my own D&D world. It's taking big things from base D&D and I'm adding a lot of homebrew things. But I just started with it and I'm looking at the races right now. Things that I want to add for the PCs, for the playable characters, as well as races that I just want to have in the world. Oh, and just ignore this. If you're gonna make a human, just make a human that looks like a human. That's just like basic information for how to be a character. I just thought, oh yeah, you know what, I'm really fun. I'm just gonna write this. So for the races, we have the basic human, bearing humans, tieflings. For the Azamar, at that point in time, I didn't have a way to get the information on the race, so I just left it as pending. I also have the animal folk, which is just there are a lot of races. And I put them under the, oh wait, let me change that. I don't want to make it right. They're all under the umbrella term for animal folk, but there's a huge difference between them. The turtle people, the tabaxi, regular cat furries, the paragon, the rat, no, not rat, the rabbit people. And then for the Lestermen, I'm thinking about maybe making a couple of races for them. The bird people, the Aarakocras, the Owlins, and the Kenku, and Mentors, Centaurs, and the Loxodons. What are catgirls? Catgirls? They're under the umbrella of the tabaxi, basically. Basic tabaxis are more animal-like, but I do want to make it so for the customization of the players that you can make a tabaxi that just has the regular ears, the tail, and maybe claws. So it's basically under the, I'll add it right now just to not get. Let me just add also catgirls. There we go. Okay, so that's the animal folk, and we're going down, and then to the aquatic beings. I haven't been able to find a lot of information for the aquatic beings, and there's many of them, but for the most part, just off the top of my head, I thought of the mermaids, the mermen, and the tritons, but there's many more races that I have to look into. And after that, let me just grab this. It's the information of the halflings, the type of halflings, the dwarves, the type of dwarves, the elves, which I just added recently. And then the information, the dragonborns, I just skipped them. Since I do want to make dragons a little bit more important in my setting, since literally the game is called Dungeons and Dragons, and imagine not making dragons a really huge and important part of your lore, which I haven't finished yet, since I've decided to spend time on my races rather than my lore. That's really wrong. And okay, kobolds, I need to get information test. The gnomes, I just added this information. I'll clean it up. As you can see over here, I do have a little bit more categorized, a little bit more oral, in a much more orderly manner than what I'm doing right now, since I'm just basically copying information. But I'm basically, while I'm doing the stream, I'm just looking at the pages of the races, getting to learn a little bit more about them. If I don't know a small quirk about them, I'll just look it up while I'm reading basically the biographies of them. And then I'll just basically add the traits and important information that I see here. Okay, let me go a little bit down. And then we have, that's what else? Okay, so the dragonborns are pending. The kobolds, I have to look into them. The gnomes, I did add them just recently, right now. Let's see, let's go down. Okay, and so the orcs are still pending, since I have to look in a way. Well, basically I'm looking into a way where I can make the quote-unquote monster species. The lazy campaign, I'll have it in the back of my mind. I'll write it on later, since I have to finish this first. I'll finish my races, then I'll work on the lazy one shot. I'll leave that for another night. But I do remember all the information that we talk about, so I'll leave that for a one shot on a later time. I will not forget that one. I do have it in my mind. So for the orcs, I have them pending, and I have to look at the quote-unquote sub-races of orcs, which are the Onis. For the Ganassi, there's the basic wait, let me move that. No, I almost moved that. the basic 4 elementals. And I'm also thinking about adding a light and dark Ganassi, but those are probably not going to be playable since, I don't know, just find it. They might be a little bit too strong considering that they'll both have radiant and necrotic damage, which is kind of hard to fight against for low level characters. And for changelings, this is something that from the campaign that I used to watch quite a while ago. I watched it on Twitch as well. And the way they integrated changelings into the world was pretty amazing. Like having a race that can literally swap to whatever they want or whatever they've seen. There's a lot of possibility with them. So I have a huge pending on this one. I made it capitals just in that case because I want to do something really big with them. But that's for later on. And fairies, vampires, and werewolves, those are going to be late games since I don't want to. Basically, I just don't want to put a lot of work on myself, so I'm having this 3 for later on. Wait, I almost changed that again. I want to add this races, but like maybe if I end up. How should I say? It's going on the long run with my D&D world since I do not know exactly when I'm going to start with the campaigns and all of that since I have a lot of information that I do not even have on a Word document like right now. But I do want to have fairies, vampires, and werewolves. And for basic, well, demons, in my case, I don't want to have them be available for the PC characters since that's a lot of work. And there's a lot of information about a ton of demons in the world. And I just don't want to deal with that. That's just me being lazy, but I don't know. I just don't think it will be really fun to have a demon as a PC character. So devils, this is something I just learned recently. I did not know that in the D&D lore, demons and devils were like really separate beings. I thought they were the same thing. That was something on my end that I just got to learn recently since I was researching, quote unquote. I was just watching YouTube videos about D&D. Don't tell anybody about that. I was actually doing research properly, quote unquote. So I'm gonna add devils as well for the late game. Just what I was looking right now at the list of races, the goblins. I want to add those as well. The Warforged, which is going to be a little bit more complicated since I don't want to. So the thing about D&D in my case is that I just see it as a fantasy world, and the moment you add too much quote unquote sci-fi or technology to it that goes over that fantasy medieval kind of shtick that it has, like as a base, it gets weird. And I want to have like a cohesive world where you just don't get jumped with, I don't know, when just a fucking robot with shotguns gets at you. So I do have to look into the way I implement the Warforges into my world. And the Phantasm, this is a race that is not on base D&D either. This is a race that I saw from a YouTube video as well from a guy. Actually, I'm gonna recommend this because it was really fun. It's a YouTube channel called Pointy Hat. I think his first video was about 9 months ago, and he has a bunch of videos about races, but like adding a little bit of a twist to them. And I spent like a whole day watching his videos. They were really fun. They really hit my sense of humor, so that's why. And in one of those, he had a race of, it's close to the basic Revenant that you might know, the too angry to die kind of spirit, but mostly those are corporeal. In this case, the Phantasms are more akin to literally ghosts, so they're incorporeal beings. And the thing about them is they have some lore to them where they literally have a hole where their heart is supposed to be. And over time, if they are not getting closer to the goal they have to achieve, the hole expands and they end up disappearing and being unable to be resurrected, and a lot of things about those that I really enjoyed about the lore of the race that he created. So now I have to do all of this. Well, this and let's see, let's go a little bit over here. You know, I should probably put all of these at the bottom since I'm not going to do anything with them right now. But yeah, I have to do all that. And right now I'm just adding basic information on the races. Later on I have to find a way to make quote unquote real. I have to find a way to add them to my world since it is something that I haven't really planned out. And I guess I'm more of the type of guy who usually starts from the beginning. I do have a story of the way that my cosmos, quote unquote, my universe was built, but I haven't finished it. And I am not going to explain it as whole since I want to finish it properly before being able to talk about the story. But as of now, yeah, I think I basically didn't do much since I let's see, it was like about maybe half an hour talking with people in chat. It was really fun, actually. I really enjoyed it. The last stream that I did, it was just like basically me talking to, well, basically nobody. I was just talking to myself about the races and things that I wanted to add. But this time, a lot of people who actually really enjoyed talking to. You also got, thank you for the company. And I'm probably gonna be ending stream about like, well, let's see, I'm almost at 2 hours, so probably at the 2 hour mark I'm cranking this. So yeah, and since I had people here, I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll talk about my world. I actually do have a lot of ideas that I wanna bring forward. There's a lot of things I want to do, and well, I just told myself that, you know what, yeah, if you want to do this, you're gonna stream it, you're gonna get some ideas from people around wherever they want to. I'm basically, the thing is that I'm not the most, how should I say this, entertaining person out there. I do consider myself to be kind of a lackluster when it comes to speaking and my eloquence. So I just thought to myself, yeah, I'll just stream this. If there's anybody who wants to give a little bit of a small tad bit that I might be able to add to my workshop, I'll just get it, I'll use it, and then, yeah. So basically, I'm just doing this since I wanted to have some company while I was doing this, while I was building my own world, which is something that I've been wanting to do for about, let's say, around a year and a half, since I've been wanting to create my own setting for D&D, since I wanted to be a DM and everything. Thanks for that. I actually do not consider myself to be interesting. I'm more along the lines of, I don't know, how should I even say this? I was about to make a joke, but that's just a self-deprecation joke, so I will not do that, since I've been told that I should refrain from that, since that is my sense of humor, and I have to change that. But I'll go ahead and say whatever like that every now and again. So if I start doing self-deprecating jokes every now and again, just tell me, since I am not supposed to do that. That's the kind of humor that I'm most accustomed to, since it's really easy to throw shit upon yourself. And if you slide on it and make it even more entertaining, then yeah, that's the kind of thing that I do usually. But hey, thanks for saying that I'm pretty entertaining. I'll take it to heart. And so yeah, I think I won't move this anymore. I'll just leave it at that until the 2 hour mark passes. So if any too many words in my mouth at one time. So if anybody has any questions that you might want to ask before we end this, so yeah, let's go with that. Just any type bit of information, any questions you might have, yeah, just a little bit of whatever you might come to mind. Mind if you hear a little bit of clacking sound behind, I just recently bought a set of dice, and I'm just moving them around my desk. Wait, can I get some context on that? So he just got. They just cucked They just cucked the king. And he allowed it. Or was he magically restrained or something? Or maybe he was just into it. I'm not gonna judge. I myself am not into that kind of thing, but if you're into it, then you do you, I guess. That's really conscious because that sounds really funny. Let's see, let me just clean this up a little bit while I'm at it. What was the size for this? That's a 20. Where's... Oh, there we go. Let me make this a 20 as well. It looks smaller than... Wait, this is not even how you write elf, right? How the fuck do you write elf? Wait, I just noticed that I wrote that really... Oh no, it is how you write elf. Why did I think it had a W? That's on me. Let's see. Okay. No one looks at phones in our session, and when I see them, I get a bit bored. I just left up my shirt instead of sort of throwing a dragon at them. 'Cause I'm not shitting corn. Wait, the queen was. Oh, the queen was his aunt. Wait, what? So the queen was the aunt of the bard. Wait, no, 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 of the king. Yeah, basically, I think. Oh no, no, the. Oh, okay. If the king allowed it, then that's on him. That's his problem. If you think that, that's on them. Okay, so the aunt of the bard. Oh, so basically just incest. That's actually more normal than what I would have hoped for in a medieval setting, but yeah, nothing you can do about that. Fuck, my throat's starting to hurt. I'm really not used to talking this long. Well, I think this is gonna. I'm probably gonna cut it here. So thank you to everybody who I was gonna say walked by, but that's not exactly how this works. Everybody who drove by, thank you very much. Thanks for hopping in the night. That remembering in the time period, so I kind of like use for less, but I gotta take advantage. Happens quite a lot. Oh, gotta thank you so much for being here all the way to the end. I'm gonna have to go now since I actually do need to sleep. It's really late right now. Well, it was a pleasure. I'll think about doing this tomorrow. Probably not, but I might be. Let's see. What's tomorrow? Do I have anything to do tomorrow? Yeah, I don't know. I actually do have a couple of things to do tomorrow, so I might just be able to. Not this late, but I might be here. Maybe. Yeah, maybe no. And I don't have any social media where I can announce if I'm going to be here or not, but I'll look into that later on. But anyway, it was a pleasure. And that'll be it for me. Thank you to everybody who came by. And, well, I don't have a catchphrase or anything to end the stream. So, ladies and gents, thank you for being here. Good night.